Hi guys, welcome to another Waldtorn Studios video. Something a little different. I've recently received an amplifier that I was asked to photograph to get some product shots together, and I plugged this thing in. Now, I've not played guitar for a very long time. Like years and years. But I still have an interest. I still like music, and you know, my fingers, they sort of half remember what they're doing. I plugged this amp in. Now, it's tiny. You can see yourself, it's really small. And in all honesty, it's blown me away that much that I wanted to do a little video just showing you guys what this thing does. Because honestly, this has reawoken a bit of a love for music in me that I haven't played in a very long time. Since I took up painting, since I got into my modelling, I've really stepped away from music in general, and this has changed so much in such a short amount of time that I just wanted to sort of go through a couple of the tones that this thing is putting out, because I've never heard anything like this. So yeah, without further ado, let's crack on. I want to put together a few little sounds and give you an idea of what this little thing can do. It's a powerhouse. I mean, right now I'm out in the garage and it's bloody freezing, but I originally tried recording this upstairs in my studio, and it is so bloody loud that I've been booted out into the garage because it's just too bloody noisy. This thing it's crazy for its size, Anyway, let's crack on with it. So what are we looking at? We're looking at an all-valve amplifier. This thing is called the Fusion. It's made by an individual called Pete Smith. It's got a valve preamp and a valve power amp section, but you know, from what I can tell looking at it, it's got a lot more going on under the hood than you'd expect from your average valve amp. So what have we got? We have got the most ridiculous silky smooth the clean sounds that this thing puts out are disgracefully nice. It's just, it's quite compressed. But what it's not is, it doesn't sound like it's going through a compression pedal like a lot of Bose CS1. It's different. So what can it do? Well, this is what it does. Better than any amp I've ever come across in my life. We know it does clean. Quick pickup select. Yeah, nice. So it's rolly, it's spangly, it's clean. Go back to the neck pickup. Really sustainy. really silly for a clean sound. But this thing, let's go flat on all the controls. Right. So, as you can see, we're flat out across the board on everything. To give you an idea of scale of this thing, there's me hand. You know, it's the size of my hand. It's absolutely tiny, but it's a flat out powerhouse. So there's a lot of places we can go from here. Now, first up, I'm gonna just mess with nothing but the contour. And whilst I would expect that to roll off my treble, giving me more of a MIDI tone, or maybe, you know, boosted my bass, rolled down my I still don't know exactly what this does. But it's like tightened up the sound substantially. Without taking away that little bit of crunch that we've already got in there. Now, I'm going to go all the way up to, now, as you can see, the exact opposite, 3 o'clock. It's not taking the volume down at all, but it's taken some of the crunch off it and given me a much more sort of rhythmical sort of spangly, sort of playful. And then back to the centre. It's harsher, it's more aggressive, it's in your face. And there's little places amidst the contour. It doesn't go from one effect to the other. It morphs things as you're playing with it. I like that. It's bright, it's quite harsh. I'm going to push the treble and bass, but I'm going to leave the mid where it is. I like that. I'm going to take that mid down a little. Let's wind things up now to the first point where we really notice the distortion change a little and pick up a step of gain. That's without winding back at all. So, I'm going to push the master up now. So I've left the settings exactly as they are. But I've pushed the master up. And what you would expect with a lot of big amps is the sound to stay exactly the same but be louder. This thing gets dirty. I mean, this thing gets really, really, really dirty. It's flipping filthy. I'm not sure how much this is coming across. I'm not sure if you can really pick up that tone, especially across a YouTube video. And especially with me not being, half the guitarist I used to be. Amazing, man. Just doesn't. It's just. But all that aside, going back to what we originally had, remembering gives the best, nicest, cleanest damn sound I have ever heard. I mean, sounds friggin' awesome. Let's wind that down. I mean, it's. I'll probably push it a little further. As you can see, we got a massive range of tones in this amp. You know, on a lot of them I've shown you how I've set the sounds, I've given you a nice close-up, I've given you a good walk through, but this thing just sounds crazy. I know this is a prototype I've been sent. I know there's a little more refinement from what they were saying. There's a few more tweaks they want to make to the amp itself. But the amp itself is due for imminent release, and I tell you now, I will be getting one. I'm struggling to put into words what it is this amp has done. Why this amp and not the effects pedals or the amps I've had before. I can't put my finger on what it is. But every time I do that, or it makes me feel happy. I can't say that it's this particular sound or that particular sound. But what I can say is I've got my little choices of sounds in that amp, and they're as good, if not better, than anything I've heard. Now, this isn't a thrash your face off distortion monstrosity, but it does crunch up really nicely. This isn't a super duper clean jazz master, but its clean sounds are exceptional, and I've never heard clean sounds as good as this. It's something in between. It wants to boogie. wants to give you a bit of bounce. It wants that tiny hint of crunch in the background. So anyway, I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully there's enough going on that you've seen a good chunk of the amp, that you've heard a good chunk of the sounds. As I say, I'm not the best guitarist by a long crack, but I know good sound. And when a sound is good enough that it makes you want to play better, you know the sounds, you've nailed it.